Madame Zavas was a legend in Clawville. Her name was known all over the wilderness. She's an avid royalist, former member of the Council of 12, spymaster, assassin, businesswoman, and courtesan. To be honest, I didn't even know she was still alive. She's no spring chicken, that's for sure. She could also be my mother, or maybe my grandmother. First Ibn Wessler, now her. Honestly, tonight it wouldn't surprise me if His Majesty Hector III didn't grace me with his presence. Interesting pieces.
Do you think so? It's the art of my people.
Crocodiles?
There are many kinds of crocodile in the wilderness, Mr. Featherland. This is the art of the Nilenites.
Ah, hence the name, the Sweltering Nile.
It's a river, Mr. Featherland. My ancestors lived by this river a long time ago.
Ah, interesting.
Thank you.
Is that the time already?
Have you noticed your clock's not working?
How observant you are. That clock isn't meant to show the time. It's a decoration. A memento.
It's beautiful.
Indeed.
What a painting! Congratulations, ma'am.
Marty.
Yes. It's beautiful indeed. It's more than 40 years old. You know, I was considered pretty then.
Oh, don't say that. You still look great, ma'am.
Thank you. It feels good, but no. There's no need for lies. Those days are long gone. Every age has its truth and its beauty. For me, beauty is not in the looks anymore.
I agree, ma'am.
There are books here on quite a variety of topics. So she is the legendary Madame Zavas. Let me introduce myself properly, ma'am.
Mr. Santino, I know who you are. And I also know your partner. The legend of the Chicken Police is always one step ahead of the Chicken Police.
Thank you. That's flattering.
May I ask what you are looking for exactly? Here, on this night?
You know, that's an interesting question. The card we've shown your lovely colleague
Belongs to an old friend of ours, whom we haven't seen for a long time here.
and the name.
Unfortunately, no, Mr. Santino. That's confidential information. In my line of work, discretion is everything.
Well, you know, in our line of work, the law is above everything.
Oh, do you think so? I could tell you what your colleagues think is also above everything. But, as I said, discretion.
Look, ma'am, we don't want to impose. We're conducting a private investigation, which started off as harmless, but now it's murder.
That sounds serious.
It is serious. That's why we'd be grateful for your help.
In that case, I'm at your service. Ask your questions, and I'm going to answer to the best of my knowledge. As long as you're not wading through muddy waters.
Fortunately, I swim very well for a chicken.
I swim well, too. As I was saying, it belongs to us. Only our most valuable guests have one of these. And our employees, of course.
The employees, too. Good to know. Can you tell me if this card belonged to a guest or an employee?
No.
I thought so. Yes, thank you. Louis Hayworth is a good friend of mine. It surprises me that he's a regular here.
You wouldn't believe our clientele. You would be shocked.
No doubt. Louis, does he come here often?
Not so often.
Thank you for the vague answer, ma'am.
The mystery is thrilling. The thrill is life itself.
That was beautiful, ma'am.
Tell me, have you ever seen this list?
I have.
Am I right to assume it has something to do with the sweltering Nile?
It does, yes. But I can't tell you more about it. No.
Discretion is key.
Absolutely.
Do you know Natasha Katsenko personally?
Yes, I do.
Tell me about her.
Warm-hearted, protective, quick-tempered, fierce. Yes, fierce.
Thank you. Very useful.
This place isn't just our home with the girls. It's a sanctuary.
Really? How?
It symbolizes why the city was founded almost 1,000 years ago. Unity, love, freedom.
Interbreeding?
That too, yes. Do you have a problem with that?
Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't. My girlfriend's a predator.
Really? I'm glad to hear it.
Deceit is everything to Zavas. She used to be a spy, so I'm gonna take her every word with a grain of salt. Who's behind the legend, Miss Zavas? Who are you, really?
Just an animal raised to survive, Mr. Featherland. And because I've been taught, I know how to survive. I always was what I had to be.
And you managed to dodge my question. Clever.
Well, you see, this is one of the typical elements of survival. The way of dodging a delicate question and still making the questioner believe he got the answer. But you're too cunning and experienced, aren't you? You're not an easy one to fool.
I'm trying to maintain appearances, ma'am.
You should. Appearances, most of the time, are stronger and more dangerous than the truth.
Isn't it dangerous being a royalist nowadays?
You know, Mr. Featherland, those that are genuinely dedicated never care about danger. That's something you must know even better than I.
Do you think it's my loyalty that motivates me the most? If you do, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Maybe you're not loyal to the police, Mr. Featherland, but you are to your own principles and ideals. Am I right?
That's true, but you're avoiding the question. Why did you stay in the king's employment after the scandals that are making half the city riot? What makes you still believe so much in the institution of monarchy?
You know, I always adapt, but only to a degree where I still don't have to give up myself and my ideals for the sake of survival.
You'd rather die then?
Maybe it would seem too dramatic or even romantic to you, but yes, exactly.
I'm sorry to doubt you, but I've always thought your kind was rather compromised.
Do you mean spies or crocodiles?
spies, of course.
I must disappoint you. But there aren't many groups as loyal and unwavering as the spies, Mr. Featherland.
If you're telling me, ma'am, I believe you. What is the sweltering Nile? Is it really just a luxury brothel?
First of all, it's what it looks like. Luxurious relaxation with luxurious ladies and gentlemen. For wealthy ladies and gentlemen with luxurious needs.
And under the surface?
If you're insinuating that my girls are kind of spies, you're on the wrong track. On a very wrong track, to be precise.
Don't they have confidential information on almost all the wealthy bachelors of Clawville?
Bachelors? Don't be naive. Almost exclusively married men visit here.
Well, then my question is even more valid.
Of course, they know much. Many visit here who don't care about sex, Mr. Featherland. Some come here to talk. And meanwhile, they inadvertently say a lot about themselves.
Which makes them easy targets for blackmail, right?
It could, yes. But even the assumption is offensive.
If I guess who the card belongs to, will you tell me?
I wouldn't say that's an acceptable price for such a secret as this, but if you guess right, I won't lie to you. Then, I will tell you you were right. Yes.
Good. Let's see. The answer to my question, Natasha Katsenko.
Well, Mr. Featherland, it seems the gossip about you is right. What gave it away?
It couldn't have been easier. There's a beautiful woman with a mysterious past, trying to keep it a secret, while someone's threatening her with the exact same thing, leaving rather unmistakable messages behind. Plus, we found the card on Deborah, who was her best friend and confidant, so she was either trying to hide it or destroy it forever, so no one could find out the truth. Am I right so far?
Indeed, Mr. Featherland.
So if I'm not mistaken, Natasha used to work for you before she met Ibn Wessler. He fell in love with her, gave her a job at the Millions Club. The rest is history.
You have talent, Mr. Featherland. I'm really sorry you're not working for the government.
I am working for the government. I'm a cop.
Are you sure, Mr. Featherland?
Touché.
Indeed. Natasha used to work here. We can put it that way, but you know, this isn't just a workplace. She also lived here. She was part of our family, and we still love her very much.
Right. That puts everything in a different light. Savas is a true survivor, always was. And she's proud of that, even to this day. Maybe I can get her to trust me if I play to this part of her. You tried to protect her. From what?
Natasha came to me penniless, cold to the bone, and wounded. She was only 17 years old. Even if she were my enemy, I would have taken her in until she recovered. Yes, I'm like that. I was raised to be like that.
Haven't you seen any opportunities for profit? Or were you guided by pure animal goodness?
Is that so hard for you to believe?
I think that worldly women like you try to turn every position to their advantage. I hope I don't offend you.
On the contrary. But no. I didn't see any opportunities in a girl who could barely speak our language, who was starving and wounded and obviously running from something. In fact, I was taking unnecessary risks because of her.
You knew you were taking a risk, yet you still took her in. Why?
I don't know, Mr. Featherland. These things can't always be rationally explained. Not even when I've lived my whole life based on reason, on logic, almost every step calculated.
So Natasha came and turned your whole life upside down. She's like that, isn't she?
It's in her nature, yes. Poor thing can't help it. She's like a tornado. She usually takes everything with her.
That's quite an apt metaphor. But I have to agree.
Did she sweep you away, too?
I don't know yet, madam. I'm clinging firmly to the ground. Do you know where Natasha came from before Clawville?
Naturally. The poor dear couldn't even deny it. Even her name's eloquent, her accent, but mostly her manners, Mr. Featherland. She's from Stovos, and she belonged to the upper class of Stovonian social circles. She could barely even speak the language when I first met her.
That's all you know about her. An ex-spy like you must have checked up on her new protege's past.
That's the most exciting thing. Yes, I have. Multiple times putting my most treasured connections to good use. But nobody found anything. Natasha's trail could only be traced back to the Stovonian border. What happened in that country, no one knows.
It's rather curious, don't you think?
It is, Mr. Featherland. Yes, curious. That's why I've always been rather fond of Natasha.
Did it touch you deeply when she left you?
Indeed, it did.
Zavos is protective. It seems she's dedicating her whole life to her proteges. If I concentrate on that, maybe she'll open up to me. Why did you let her leave with Wessler?
What else could I have done? Wessler is a handsome, rich, powerful animal, and Natasha fell in love with him. If anything, I know you can't stand in the way of a woman in love. There's nothing more dangerous, Mr. Featherland.
I've been in this job for more than 20 years, but I haven't heard that one before.
You see? You learn something new every day if you have an open mind. Yes.
Were you angry at her for leaving? Afraid she might blab secrets.
Wouldn't you like to hear that? Yes, it would be a classic. The controlling crocodile obsessed with power can't take losing her favorite protege and seeks revenge.
I'm not saying it happened like that, but it could have.
Now, Mr. Featherland, you're smarter than that. You know very well that's not how it happened.
Maybe I just wanted to hear it from you. Still, I feel like you're not telling me everything.
Of course I'm not, Mr. Featherland.
Well, thank you for your honesty.
Don't mention it.
How did you feel when you learned Natasha was going to leave?
Honestly, I was very hurt. I loved her as a daughter. How would you have felt?
I couldn't say.
And I still couldn't stop her, and you know why?
Of course I do, because you loved her.
You've been in my shoes before, am I right, Detective? Yes, I can feel you have.
This isn't about me, madam. Please stop changing the subject.
I have felt betrayed on a certain level. Yes, and offended, and alone. Even amongst all my friends.
Were you disappointed in her?
Only in myself, Mr. Featherland. But I have a hunch you know this feeling very well.
Yes, you're right. Well, thank you for your time, madam.
Anytime, Detective. Yes, anytime. Please, gentlemen, wait here a moment. I would like to show you something that could help you.
Oh, that's excellent news. Thank you. We will wait.
Do you trust her?
Not in the slightest. Even her smile is fake. This woman wallowed in other animals' secrets until she became one too.
That's exactly how I feel.
Anyway, now that we're here, we can take a better look around.
Just what I was thinking.
These books are here for a reason. They mean something. These books are here. These books.
Hidden door. Who'd have thought?
She is a legendary ex-spy.
Well, this is something I've never understood. Why isn't a key good enough? I mean, you can take that with you, but riddles can be solved by anyone.
I don't think many animals get to be in this room, Marty. And the other thing is...
Maybe she wanted us to find it.
exactly what I'm thinking. Who knows? Anyway, we're going in.